There's no doubt about it that one of the main reasons as to why a lot of Star Wars fans are very excited about the future of the Star Wars franchise is that now we have George Lucas, Jon Favreau, and Dave Filoni all working together as a team to really steer things in the right direction for the Star Wars franchise in order to really recapture the experience for the fandom around the entire world. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, the one thing about Disney Star Wars is that we do know that they are now heading in a more positive direction for the Star Wars fans to witness. Now, the one thing about all of this is that, yes, they already have over 10 years worth of Star Wars TV shows in the mix that they are actually currently working on. That's a lot. You know, that's not even talking about the movies, which also is going to be quite a lot as well. They already have a new Star Wars trilogy, a handful of spin-off films, and among other movies out there that Disney and Lucasfilm are really kind of trying to organize for this new Star Wars roadmap that's going to be unveiled sometime late 2021. Now, everything looking forward to Jon Favreau, George Lucas, Dave Filoni. These are the three true creators of Star Wars, in my opinion. You've got George Lucas, who really created it all. You've got Dave Filoni, who is always considered the true protege of George Lucas. And then you got Jon Favreau, the first man to create live-action Star Wars TV shows. And it all started with The Mandalorian, and he's also going to be associated with other live-action projects out there. So these three main creators of the Star Wars universe are really significant. You got George, who really introduced the originals, Dave Filoni, who introduced animation, and like I say, Favreau, who introduced live-action TV shows and stuff around those lines. However, Kathleen Kennedy, what's really intriguing about Kathleen Kennedy is that, of course, now that the Skywalker saga is over, both Disney and Lucasfilm are focused on their new Star Wars trilogy of movies, as well as their new Star Wars universe. Now, it's explained that currently both Bob Iger and Bob Chapek are developing multiple plans in order to reunite the Star Wars fandom around the entire world, in order to make it have great success on Disney Plus and in theaters. However, behind the scenes over at Lucasfilm, many changes have been made by creators like George Lucas and even the Disney CEO, Bob Chapek. Recently, Kathleen Kennedy was fired from a major Star Wars project that was going to be a new Star Wars TV series to be released in 2022. Now, it's noted that one of the big reasons as to why Kathleen Kennedy was fired from the Star Wars project had to do with Kennedy hiring the wrong type of creators behind George Lucas's and Bob Chapek's back without any approval. Now, it's noted that Kennedy chose specific writers and directors and even actors to join the project that would actually have caused a big production mess in the series, and that Chapek and Lucas were very unimpressed with Kennedy's choices. These writers and directors were those who pushed the woke narrative in whatever way they work, and of course, since Lucas is trying to push the woke narrative away in whatever way, shape, or form, since Lucas is really trying to steer away from the woke culture, he was not happy about Kennedy's decision of choosing those writers and directors for the new Star Wars TV show. So once again, this is Kathleen Kennedy doing things behind people's back, hiring specific creators or actors that Chapek and Lucas did not approve of and did not want to see in this actual show. Now, this show was an exception because they actually, by contract, allowed themselves, Lucas, Favreau, Filoni, and of course even Chapek, to actually have some form of creative control over this from the beginning. However, Kathleen Kennedy was taking control of it more than she was given. Now, initially she was given control of, the overall structure of the new TV show, what it was going to be about, where it was going to go in the overall Star Wars universe, and thankfully she was let go of this because it seems like that she was really trying hard to bring it on the wrong path. Now, the process of firing Kennedy from the project took weeks to go into effect, and that now this TV show is being reformed with new writers, directors, and even actors to perform in the new series. Now, it's noted that Lucas was given approval by Bob Chapek to fire Kennedy from the project, and that Lucas will now serve as a supervisor of the new Star Wars series. The new series is set to be announced sometime in 2021 and is still scheduled for a 2022 release date. In fact, Brie Larson sometime in 2021 was actually supposed to be placed into this TV show and actually acting in it. Now, about all of this, alright? this 2022 actual Star Wars TV show is going to be unveiled sometime next year and is still scheduled for a 22 release date. It's just going to be reformed. So Brie Larson, like I say, was signed on for the show by Kathleen Kennedy and was going to serve as a brand new animated character in the series. This is something that Chapek wanted to push away from, since Brie is said to already be attached to Leslie Headland's Star Wars show, and they wanted to see how she does first before she's given another project, such as the second one that she was going to act in originally because of Kennedy. Now, further, it's noted that Kennedy also was going to rewrite aspects of the philosophy of Star Wars and exactly what Star Wars means in the new series, and that Lucas was very upset over Kennedy's director with the new Star Wars project. Lucas even had conversations with Kennedy to drop the direction of the series, and that Kennedy refused to actually make any adjustments because it would be catastrophic of her plan to make the series happen. Now that Kennedy is out with the series with Lucas, Favreau, and Filoni taking over, the new series is set to expand the stories of the Jedi in a surprising and unexpected way for fans to witness on Disney+. Now this series is set to introduce next-generation tech in which the animation style will appear like Luke, or like, while of course what they did with Luke Skywalker originally planned for The Mandalorian Season 3. I don't know if you guys knew this, but The Mandalorian Season 3 originally was going to use de-aging technology that was said to be next-generation tech on Mark Hamill before they switched over to recasting for Sebastian Stan. Moving on. Now, while also using motion capture over some of the actors in this new TV show for Disney+. So, what's really interesting about all of this is that here we have Kathleen Kennedy in a scenario where she was hiring specific directors, writers, and actors that she actually knew that Lucas, Favreau, Filoni, and or Chapek were not going to approve of. Specifically Chapek, right? He was really running the show here. Is that she knew that they would not approve of them. Now, it really does just go to show you that Kennedy likes to push the woke narrative. George Lucas, however, does not want to push that narrative. He wants to rid of it. And that's going to take, a lot of time and effort to really make it the norm. You're going to have to really establish it with a couple of new TV shows and a couple of new movies that are detached from that narrative to make things feel normal again. Now, another thing here that I think a lot of fans need to know that's very important is that this new Star Wars TV series, in case you guys did not know, is set to serve as a bridge between live action and animation. What they really want to establish is that they can make animated material seem lifelike, but at the same exact time not getting the audience confused as to whether or not it's live action. So kind of think like video game cutscenes, except with better textures, something around those lines, right? So this is going to be a very interesting process because now that Kathleen Kennedy is out, it does make one wonder, what directors and or writers is George Lucas going to choose, Bob Chapek going to choose, stuff around those lines? Who's going to come on board of this new 2022 TV show? And mind you, Disney aims to at least have around 3 TV shows release a year on Disney Plus in the next couple of years. As of right now, it's pretty much 1, maybe 2 at most. We got The Mandalorian Season 2 coming out this year. We had the Clone Wars Season 7 earlier this year, so that's 2 TV shows. But they eventually want 3 in a more condensed part of the year. So they want The Mandalorian Season 3, they want The Bad Batch in 2021, and they also want something else to drop in 2021 as well. That is most likely the Cassian Andor TV series that's going to drop alongside those 2 other TV shows. So you can already see the beginning stages of 3 TV shows a year starting next year by Disney and Lucasfilm. And I'm not quite sure if a lot of fans will translate that as oversaturation. I think it's fine as long as they are quality. So, like I've said before in the past, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.